So this is in response to the fake Illuminati guy who commented on my previous video about not being able to see, or I shouldn't be able to see the deck of the Bay Bridge from 24.5 miles away at the Dumbarton Bridge because of the curvature of the Earth is such that it should be about 100 miles underneath or behind the curve of the Earth. So that was a couple weeks ago I took that, well, I don't know when I took that photo, I think it was January or whatever. But here we are, different day, different conditions, and I can see the Bay Bridge deck again, which I shouldn't be able to see, and I can see the San Mateo Bridge there with the horizon pretty much at the, well, maybe a little bit behind the San Mateo Bridge, but definitely not like 4 miles away because that San Mateo Bridge is 7 miles away at least. But then the guy's like, so yeah, he said like, oh, I don't know what the heck he said. Okay, he's talking about the mountains behind this pillar, or what is it called, the pylon. And I was like, dude, you don't even know what those mountains are. How do you know that they're going behind the curve of the Earth? Well, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and we're going to talk about those mountains. So there on the left, that is a mountain in Marin that's like 45 miles away. And based on that, I kind of forget exactly, but it should be like, it's like 1,400 feet, I think, 1,500 foot mountain, and so there should be like, I don't know, at least 1,000 feet of curvature, and that's kind of a problem, because there should be like, getting cramped. Shit, this is ruining the video. All my credibility is lost. Stupid hip cramp. Anyway, so there should be like 500 feet of that sucker being sticking up over the horizon of the Earth. The problem with that is that Bay Bridge pylon is like 525 feet, and it looks like the whole thing is visible, like none of it's behind the curve of the Earth. So that's 500 feet. That pylon is 500 feet above. That mountain in the background that's 45 miles away should only be peeking out 500 miles above the surface of the Earth because it's 1,500 feet tall, and there should be about 1,000 feet of curvature. And it's taller than the pylon. So yeah, I actually identified the mountain behind it, and if it's another 20 miles away and it's taller than the 500-foot thing, then there's way more than 500 feet of that sucker exposed above the horizon of the Earth. I can see more deck of the Bay Bridge there, and it's getting shorter and shorter as you go further left towards the city. The height of it decreases. And if you don't like that explanation, well then I'll move a little bit to the right. And then I got Angel Island there. Alright, and behind that I got Big Rock Ridge, another Bay Bridge pylon. Alright, another Bay Bridge pylon, so that's 500 feet sticking up above there. And the Angel Island peak is at 750 feet about. And the part over there, that's like 400 feet. So that's like 700, that's like 400, where it starts to taper off. So there should be about 500 feet of curvature between me and Angel Island. I should only see like between that peak and that where it like really slants off and goes down. So somewhere in between there, that should be the only, like just above that should be the only exposed area. But no, it's going all the way down pretty much. I mean, there could be like 50 feet of curvature that I can't see, but there's no way there's 500 feet of curvature. And there's Big Rock Ridge behind it. That sucker is 47 miles away, that peak, you know, from that antenna up there. Like, that's the only thing with an antenna in that area. That's definitely Big Rock Ridge. So Big Rock Ridge is at 1,900 feet peak, and then that depression there is like 1,400 feet. So that's like 500 feet right there between the peak and that one depression. And based on how far away that the mountain is, 1,900 feet away, there should be like 1,100 feet of curvature. So this thing should be sticking up like 800 feet above the surface of the Earth, but above the horizon rather. And it's taller than Angel Island and taller than the Bay Bridge pylon. 500 feet of Bay Bridge pylon, 750 feet total of Angel Island exposure. That should only be 800 feet above the surface, above the horizon rather. I'm probably losing a lot of people. It'd be better to draw this out. But like, so if there's 800 feet that should be exposed on that Big Rock Ridge, but like the thing in front of it, like 20 miles in front of it, closer to me, 750 feet of that is exposed, and that's way taller than that. So 750 feet transposed onto that thing that's 20 miles away, there's way more than 700 feet exposed of that peak there. I don't know if that made any sense. Let's do that again. So, Angel Island, I need to stabilize. Angel Island, you can see the whole thing. Like, it's above the Bay Bridge pylon. We can see the whole thing because I can see the deck of the Bay Bridge. All right, so that's 500 feet. Angel Island's above that, 700 feet. Should be only 500 feet of exposure, but it's like further away, and it's taller than the Bay Bridge pylon, so more than 500 feet of Angel Island is being exposed. The whole thing is being exposed. Like, way more, it's not even close to 500 feet. Obscure, I don't know how to say it, obscurity going on, obscuring of Angel Island, like the whole thing is exposed. And if that's 700 feet, and that should only be 700 feet or 800 feet above the horizon, and that's taller than the thing that is 20 miles further away then there's no way that it's not adding up. Like, the curve is not consistent with the radius. That thing should be below the Angel Island in height. Well, I don't know about below. Well, yeah, I don't know exactly what it should be below, but it's not at, like, that's 750 feet, that's 1900 feet, but there's 20 miles difference. So, like, so the exposed part of that mountain, that 900 foot, is way more than 700 or 800 feet. Way more, because it's taller than that, and that's closer, and it's also about 800 feet. That's what I'm trying to say. In a convoluted way. Like, this is always what I see. I never see anything freaking different. And dude, like, the guy who called me out, he's not gonna watch this video again. He's paid to do his job and comment on the next Flat Earth video. But, like, that is like, those are the mountains, man. They ask me, what about the mountains behind there? Well, like, that's Tiburon there, I think, and I shouldn't be able to see that either. And, like, that's a mountain that's way more exposed. That there is a mountain way more exposed than it should be. And then all this stuff is way more exposed than it should be. Actually, thanks for the tip. This is very helpful for my argument by identifying these mountains and how far they are away. Oh, that sucker is even further away. That's like 50 miles away. And that's still above Angel Island. Not even as high. It's the whole thing. There's treasure, or what is it, Yerba Buena Island? The whole thing, nothing ever shows a curve. Never, ever. This is China Camp State Park. It's like 40 miles away. It's only 1,000 feet in height, so it should be like 900 feet of curvature. This is like 100 feet. Only 100 feet of this thing should be exposed. This mountain range here, this is China Camp State Park. But, like, there's the Bay Bridge pylon, and that's more than 100 feet of Bay Bridge pylon, and this thing is taller than the pylon. We're just about the same height, and it's further away. It's like 50 miles further away. It's not happening. The curve is not happening. You can believe what you want. Actually, I think that might be China Camp State Park. Maybe I made a mistake. Oh, no, wait, that's Point Richmond. That might be Richmond. Yeah, that was Richmond. Something identified. Never mind. Yeah, that's not China Camp State Park. That's Point Richmond, where the Richmond Bridge starts. That's China Camp State Park, definitely. And it's the height of the pylon, which is 500 feet, and it's not sinking behind the curve, so that's 500 feet transposed 50 miles away is way smaller from my perspective. It's all about perspective. That's what I didn't really mention that, but it's just about the laws of perspective. 500 miles, that's 24 and a half feet away, or 24 and a half miles away, is not the same as, it's going to be bigger than 500 miles, that's 40 miles away, which is how far that thing is. So if I can see as much of the pylon as I can of that thing, then there's way more than 500 feet being exposed of the thing that's further away, because they're the same height, and the one thing is further away. Well, as a perspective. All right, can't wait. See what the Illuminati guys say about this one. What are they going to point out? There's nothing really to point out. I don't know. What's curving? What's going behind the curve of the Earth? I don't see it. I really don't see it. Haven't seen it for months. Haven't seen it ever. And if I haven't seen everything ever, I'm not going to believe in it. Let's take a look at that deck again. Deck. Definitely see the deck. Then kind of like, can't really see much of it anymore. You can kind of see it there. Good day to see the deck. Good day for the deck. All right, now if there's a mountain out there that I haven't identified that's sinking behind the curve of the earth, let me know, Illuminati guys.